Good morning, my friends. Welcome to this episode of Happiness After Codependency. I'm Marshall Birch, and I'm your guide to creating peace, happiness, and purpose in your life after codependency. Today, we're going to be talking about the crucial importance of believing the innate legitimacy, the validity of your emotions, and what role that plays in your healing and in your freedom from codependency. So I'm going to be jumping into that here in a moment. Before we get to that, I need to share this out to my community. If you're looking for a place where you can find additional support, guidance, tools, and opportunities to work with me, join the community. The link is above on Facebook, below on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And guys, like and share this video out to people you know could benefit from it as well. All right, so I'm going to get this shared out now. Come join us again in the community where you can get more access to the things that you need in order to experience that freedom you're seeking from your codependency. Okay, click the button. The button is clicked. Let me know how you guys are doing in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on today's class, today's training as we go forward. So, the crucial nature of seeing your emotions as valid. This is something that tripped me up for a very long time in my healing. Because a lot of times people approach feelings as, believe your feelings. They're valid. They're real. But we really never get into the grittiness of why they're innately valid and the importance that plays in our healing. There's kind of this assumption that we see our feelings as intrinsically real and valid, when in reality, we don't. So like in the codependency healing system, in the Heal Codependency Self-Study System, and in the Self-Trust course, I address this specifically in a very deliberate way, and that is the innate legitimacy of your reactions, your lived experience, and your emotions. Because these are fundamental components to our healing and to restoring a sense of self-trust in our being and in our reality, that what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing has a purpose, it has information. It is here to serve me and help me understand what I am going through. It's part of the crucial nature of believing the validity of our emotions. Now, most of us, if we're dealing with codependency, we have been gaslit, we have been criticized, we have experienced our emotions as being questioned as real, as valid. Maybe they're deemed too much or too little. Maybe they are ignored entirely. My dominant experience with my emotions was that there were right emotions and wrong emotions. And if I had the wrong emotions, I needed to go to my room to figure it out so that I could have the right emotions. And the right emotions were whatever the other individual wanted me to feel so they could feel a certain way. It's whatever pleased them. So sometimes it was I'm happy is what pleased them. Sometimes me being upset or sad pleased them. Sometimes me feeling a lot of shame pleased them. So it was never one specific emotion. It was always about whatever made them happy. This caused me to question my reality, question my emotions in general. And that led to me disconnecting from myself. I couldn't trust myself. I couldn't sense into myself. I was unable to know what I thought, what I felt, what I needed, what I wanted. I was unable to access or acknowledge my own capacity, my own limits, my own boundaries, my own emotional needs. I was unable to relate. I was unable to have relationships that functioned, friendships that felt safe and warm, because I had no access to my emotional self. This is the impact. This is the trauma of being gaslit, of being neglected, of being discarded for the emotions we have. And this has taught us to distrust our emotions, to doubt them, to criticize them, to exile them from us. And this is where we end up feeling empty, lost, lonely, feeling like we are the outsider, feeling like we don't belong, because we have no relationship to the medium in which we experience belonging, connection, warmth, love, affection, and stable bonds and attachment through. It's all been cut off. This is why it's crucial that we come into a loving relationship of validity with our emotions, regardless of what they are. So emotions can be kind of tricky, right? We can have what people typically class as or term as trigger. So I'm having an emotional reaction to a situation that the emotional reaction doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of relevant sense to. It's just totally valid. I have that frequently. We all do. We all have triggers. Some are big, some are really small. Our work as we grow out of codependency is actually to discern between the relevancy of our emotional response to the situation we're handling while caring for the innate legitimacy and validity of it anyway. Just because my reaction to a thing isn't relevant to the situation at hand does not mean the emotions I'm experiencing are irrelevant too. They're actually quite relevant. All emotions are relevant because they come from a rational premise. That rational premise is your past or your present and what the body anticipates is going on. So your emotions are there to inform you about your lived experience, about your beliefs, but also about your needs, about your capacity, about your boundaries, about what you want, about what's working for you and what isn't. Because if we lean outside of just healing codependency and we lean more into the experience of fulfillment, of satisfaction, of really knowing ourselves and living a life that we're happy with, that's all emotional. That's all generated in that medium, in that sphere. Satisfaction's a sensation in the body. It's an emotional experience. Happiness is as well. How are we going to know what those are if we are disconnected from our emotions and the validity of our emotional experience? If we doubt these things, we can't get connected to it. And that means we're going to seek it externally. We're going to chase after other people's approval or rejection. And we're going to seek their permission to feel certain ways and do certain things and have certain experiences. We abdicate our power to someone else who doesn't deserve that. So this is why it is crucial that we move towards our emotions and treat them with validity. We see them as real and valid and legitimate because they exist. They don't need permission. They don't need justification, argument, defense, or explanation. They need acknowledgement. They need legitimization. They need care. When we do this, we start restoring emotional fidelity to ourselves. And this is where we start to actively, quickly start to understand what works for us and what doesn't, what we need to change in our world. We start to understand our own limits. And from that, we start to understand what matters to us. We move into connecting with our own values, our own guiding principles. Ultimately, our own purpose starts to emerge out of this. This is why it is crucial we move towards caring for and legitimizing our emotional experiences. It's why it's a centerpiece in everything I teach. It's a broken record. If you're one of my students, you've heard it thousands of times. Your emotions are valid. Let's hold space for that. Let's bring care in for that emotion. I see you. I feel you. You matter to me. You're real. You're real to me, and I care for you. You are welcome here. This is how we experience that legitimacy. This is how we respond to the validity of an emotion. And if we're looking to build safe, secure bonds with others, it's the same process. I acknowledge their emotional experience. I validate it. Hey, yeah, I see what you're going through. That matters to me. I see it. It's welcome here. This is how we build secure attachment. Oh, I'm really anxious. I'm really scared. I'm really upset. Yeah, I see this. It matters to me. It's welcome. It also adds to our emotional regulated state where we have more capacity for what we feel. Because we're not investing a lot of our energy in trying to resist, attach, or analyze the things that are coming up. Instead, we're responding to those emotions with care and legitimacy. And they are able to move through our nervous system, through our body, a lot easier, with a lot more peace. This is why we focus on it. So today's training, I want to give you a tool that's going to help you implement this into your life. It's a simple question. And that question is, what shifts when I trust just a little bit that the emotions I'm feeling are valid and real? That will allow you to start moving towards that process. Now, if you're ready to go deeper on this and start mastering this in your life, I recommend joining the Heal Codependency Self-Study System. So that's available. It's going to lead you through these processes in your world, because you get the self-trust course, the Heal Yourself strategy, the Know Yourself strategy, and the relationship strategy, which are the 4 core components or 4 core trainings I offer that lead you out of codependency and into a happy, interdependent life that's driven by purpose. It's driven by your own fulfillment and your own wisdom. So you can check that out in the course links in the description above, on Facebook and below on YouTube. Also, my friends, we have this month's Decoding Codependency Workshop coming up. We're going to be exploring the origin of codependency and the 6 habits that emerge from that origin. Come join us for September 28th. It's taught at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. on that day. That day is a Wednesday. You're going to get a guide that helps you explore these things, helps you pivot those 6 core codependent habits, and you're going to get the ISI model that's going to help you intervene, soothe, and inquire about what's going on in your world so you know what to do for yourself there. So come join us for that. The link is above on Facebook, below on YouTube. All the decoding codependency workshops are free. There'll be one. I'll be teaching one every single month, and then you'll be able to access the recordings 24/7, so it'll be on demand. Okay. Thank you again, my friends, for being here. Remember to hit subscribe and like this video and share it with those who you believe could be impacted by it. And thank you for being a part of my journey in my world. I'll see you guys in our next training. Have a great day. Bye-bye.